This very year will be the death of Uber Eats drivers trusting that manipulative app. There's two reasons for this. The first reason, part of it you're going to like. I know I do. The second one, not so much. There could even be more reasons, but there's certainly not less. The first reason, it's dealing with the acceptance rate. I need to give you some background on the acceptance rate before I show you this chart I made. And you may ask, why is this important? Well, I'll tell you what, if Uber Eats can't properly calculate your acceptance rate, how are you certain that they're calculating your pay properly? That is something to consider. Ultimately, if Uber Eats can't get simple math right, how can you trust them with your paycheck? The second reason why drivers won't trust the app anymore is being manipulated about future pay. The Uber Eats app, even to this day, continues to deceive drivers, making you think you're going to get some high pay, and it actually doesn't come through. But more on that later. First, let me briefly give you some background on the acceptance rate. As an independent contractor, you are not required and cannot be made to accept any order or every order on Uber Eats. So keep this in mind. Otherwise, we're behaving as employees. And as you know, we're not. We're independent contractors. Remember all the flexibility of working when you want? A while ago, I was wondering if it was worthwhile taking every order, even though we're independent contractors. I was secretly hoping Uber Eats would reward me with some really high-paying offers and over time, just really great pay. But I quickly got bogged down just trying to get my acceptance rate up, and it was very frustrating. I want you to know that I track every single order that I take on Uber Eats. That way I can have proof of what I'm talking about. So I used that information to come up with this chart I'm going to show you here soon. And that'll make sense when you look at all these numbers and percentage rates. Uber Eats clearly tells us that it's our last 100 orders. So if I start at 0% acceptance rate, I accept 100 orders, it's going to steadily go up till it gets to 100%. If I miss an order and it drops 1%, you would think it should go up right away with that next order. But surely it has to go up within the next 100 orders, right? So let's bring up that chart right here. And what I want you to note on here, this isn't the entire chart. I have that in another video. I'm just taking the little segments where I was steadily increasing and then I missed something and dropped back down. That way you can see those totals. So when I went from 58% to 100, that should only take 42 orders, right? So what if it doesn't? Does that increase your confidence in the Uber Eats app? It doesn't for me. So as you can clearly see, it took 188 painful long orders to go from 58% all the way up to a 97% acceptance rate. What happened to 42? What happened to 100? 188? How do you explain that, Uber Eats? And then something did happen. I probably missed an order. Maybe I was rebooting my phone. I don't know. I was paying very close attention. But anyway, it dropped 1% to go back to 97%. It took 16 orders. I can't explain that. Then over time, I kept taking orders until I got up to 99%. Now look at this next run. From 99% to 100%. It took me 74 orders. That took a long time. I've been doing this experiment for 2 years. So when I got to that 100%, I was so happy. Then there was something that happened and I actually don't know what it was, but I dropped back to 99 and I was so frustrated because I've been waiting to share the pay results, the miles with you, but that ruined it. So I thought, you know what? Even though it's foolish, I'm going to do it again. So I want to report to you today how many orders it took to go from 99 to 100% the second time. And this is that little bit of good news I had for you. So the first time when you see here 188, 16, 74, what is up with that? What kind of chart is that? That is not math that I recognize. So clearly something is not right there. But when I did it for a second time, I am happy to report they were right. I was off by maybe 2 or 3 orders, and I don't know why, but it was really close. I'll just say it was 100 orders to go up that 1%. So Uber Eats in this one instance was correct. Before this second time, I was very frustrated. I even called the customer support agent, and would you believe he told me it takes 200 orders to go from 0 to 100% or whatever percent he wanted to say. He told me it took 200 orders, not the 100 orders. So you can see I've had 2 years of frustration with this, and the first part is still concerning, and I think it's going to beg your distrust of the app. If they're willing to put so little concern into just one metric, what are they doing to your pay? What are they doing to other things that you're too busy to notice? So I did want to report that second finding with you because I do owe you to tell you the whole truth, not just bits and pieces of things that didn't go well. 2 years of frustration. So what does this tell us? Uber Eats clearly uses strange math. I thought 1 plus 1 equals 2, or 1 plus 99 equals 100. So this kind of crazy math doesn't give me much confidence when it comes to driver safety and driver pay. These are two important issues for Uber Eats drivers. When we're out busy delivering food, the last thing I should be wondering is if I'm being cheated or manipulated. That's a horrible feeling. And when you figure out that one metric, this acceptance rate, this is just one of many things that Uber Eats measures us on. And if I can't trust that, why do I want to have my attention diverted wondering, what else am I going to be manipulated or lied about or cheated on? That's just unacceptable. Now, let's look at the second part of this next manipulation. When the orders are really flooding in and there's not enough drivers, the Uber Eats app has this beautiful colors and sounds. They try to really get you motivated to get out there and make some money. They even promise surge pay. It doesn't happen often, but it is still happening today. And this comes in and it says, you're promised to get this amount of money on your next order. There was one time I got this and I stayed online for another hour because I was going to get that order and get that money. How would you feel if you don't even get that money? That's what happened to me. I waited an hour, didn't even get paid that bonus. I was demoralized and very angry when this happened to me. How would you feel when this happens to you? Well, I've documented this full experience, going into all the details, the communication with that company, and I'll tell you what, it was so frustrating and infuriating, but I wanted to document that for you so you could watch that video next, and I'll see you there.